three idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runza sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but oh, Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened.
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson of USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.
Good evening and Happy New Year, Coyote fans. Welcome in. Season 2, Episode 20 of the Howling Podcast. We're mic'd up, nerded out, ready for some chaos tonight. We are all here. Chad Berger, Mark Wendt, yours truly, Jordan Decker, all ready to go. We will be joined with new friend of the show and new USD women's tennis coach, head coach, Pasha Zinchenko. We will recap the week that was and then look ahead to the upcoming week in Coyote athletics as we have the last week before classes begin for the spring term. iChart of the week and Dairy Queen player of the week to close out the show as always. Some business first, quick disclaimer. The opinions on this show are Mark, Chad's, and myself and do not represent USD or USD athletics. On the social channels, thank you for those joining us live tonight on X. That's at Howl With Us 3. You can catch us three on X as well. Myself at JD605, Mark at WDiamond605, and Chad at Chad Berger, Birger, at Chad Berger. Welcome those joining us live on Facebook tonight. If you do not follow us, it's just search The Howling Podcast. Please like and follow our Facebook page. And on YouTube, welcome in the YouTube crowd joining us live tonight. Feel free to leave comments, questions for Coach Zinchenko and us, and we will try to get those on the screen. If you don't follow our YouTube channel at The Howling Podcast, please subscribe. And finally, Instagram. We are on the gram. Just search _Howling_podcast. But as always, tonight's show is brought to you by our friends at 19 Brewing Company in Vermilion. So before we get going, a quick word from Katie at 19 Brewing Company.
Looking for a place where good beer meets better company? Welcome to 19 Brewing Company, Vermilion's first craft brewery and home to Coyote Legacy Blonde Ale. Brought to you by 2 USD alumni, Coyote Legacy isn't just any beer. It's a chance to give back to student scholarships while enjoying a refreshing blonde ale. With 12 rotating taps, a flavor at your self-seltzer, and homemade root beer, we have something for every Coyote fan. 19 Brewing Company. Good beer, better company.
With that, I welcome in Chad and Mark. Good evening, fellas. Happy New Year. Are we still keeping up with our resolutions? We're on day 4. We still no resolutions?
No.
Chad?
Yeah, I don't think you could say that anymore, according to Larry David. So,
will we be on?
You're totally.
All right. Well, there's a fan submission iChart. Go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yep. So, Jordan Decker, iChart of the week. We'll get that hooked up later. But yeah, everything's going well so far.
Man, I can't believe I forgot.
Except for my computer hooked up the wrong microphone. So that was me coughing during your intro. Apologize for that.
Thanks. Oh, so that was during my X handle. So in case you didn't hear that because Chad was coughing, it's at JD605.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll get hundreds of followers.
Rolling.
Yep.
I'm
Rolling
close to
it.
600. If you don't follow me on X, if I get to 600, absolutely nothing happens but a little boost of ego. So,
all right. Well, Mark, what happened this week?
This past week, women's basketball had a home match versus the home game versus the College of St. Mary's. And that game ended as it should, 95-42, win. And then Open Summit League down in Kansas City yesterday, 20-point victory, 67-47 to 47.
oh boy.
W. Men's basketball, shorthanded men's basketball, Open Summit League in Fargo and lost 84-61. In that game, Isaac Ice Bruns, future friend of the show, scored his 1,000th point. Congrats.
Goodness
to him.
gracious.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, not in that game. Just like for his career.
overall.
Yeah, that would be a record.
Okay.
That would be a record. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And Swim Dive was over in St. Thomas, and they picked up victories, both men and women. So congrats to them.
Yep. Excellent. Let's give them a round of applause. Good job.
All right. Special thanks to the studio audience for joining us again tonight.
All right. So, Jordan, what do we got going on today?
We are welcoming in new friend of the show and head coach of USD women's tennis, Coach Pasha Zinchenko. Coach, welcome in to the Holland
Nice
podcast.
picture you guys got.
Yeah.
Nice picture you guys got.
You remember that one,
Not
right? That was
Photoshop.
at
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Summit
That was, yeah.
at the Summit League tournament last
We
year.
flew you
Yeah,
in
exactly.
from Colorado State for the Summit League tournament, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly. And then I got to take a picture with you guys
Yep.
before I
Yes.
enter you, just in case.
Just in case.
Just in
Well,
case.
Hey,
Yeah.
Coach, welcome in. And I just want to start, what have you been up to since you arrived in Vermilion, with whether it's recruiting, scheduling, what have you been up to since you got hired?
Well, I worked quite a lot, just when I started the first 50 days or so, I didn't have a day off. I was just constantly working. There's something to do. But I've done a lot of recruiting. I had to do a little bit of scheduling here and there just to add a couple matches to spring. And then I already went ahead and started scheduling spring 27 matches and recruiting for fall 26. I mean, I came in kind of a unique situation where I only had 5 players on the team. So I had to recruit 2 people to even have like a roster, like tennis roster is a 6. We have to have 6 starters. So I had to bring people in or we wouldn't have a full team basically. So yeah, so I've been doing quite a lot of that and just honestly learning about the athletic department. It all takes time. Just learning how everything operates, who to ask questions. I'm pretty sure I've annoyed already half of my admins because I'm asking the wrong questions to the wrong person. But that's just part of learning, So yeah, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and keeping my head above water.
Coach, you had mentioned you had 5 players when you came in. There's 5 players on the roster on the website, but I'm assuming you've got a match scheduled here for January 16th. So I'm assuming you have a full squad right now. Who are some of the players that we can expect to see January 16th against Mount Marty?
Well, Mount Marty's actually, we'll see. It's going to be kind of like a ease into it match. I spoke to their coach. They don't have a very strong team. It's an NAIA school, so I will kind of just probably going to give some freshmen a chance to hit and feel a little bit of that college tennis environment just to get their feet wet. And that's probably it. And I have a young team. So right now I have 4 freshmen. So they're probably going to be on the forefront of playing in that match. And then we'll see what we're going to fill in the other spots, how that's going to go, who needs some reps, who kind of doesn't. So we'll see. Yeah.
Coach, so you got hired June or July this past summer, somewhere in that neighborhood?
I started in August. They announced me, I believe, in July, and I started in August.
Right,
yeah, like
right.
a week, not even a week. I actually started the day the school started. That was my first day. But I worked a little bit before, that's coaching. You have to kind of pre-work to your work.
So how much time have you had with the team actually on the court since then?
I had quite a bit. We have fall season, so or like a shorter version of fall season where we go 20 hours. So I spend all 20 hours with them, or majority of those hours with them. So I've got to know them quite well on the court. We had 3 competitions already, so it was a little bit of getting used to each other type period. But I think we're on the right page. Everybody's kind of excited for the season. So yeah, I've spent some time with players.
Coach, I had a question about the schedule and if this, the way the Summit League does things is similar to your previous stops. I see like you've got some non-conference matchups and then you got Summit League and then in between Summit League matches are non-con. Is that common at the Division I level with women's tennis?
It's somewhat uncommon in my opinion. But it really depends on the size of your conference. We don't have the biggest conference. It's only 7 teams. So if we just go conference, we're basically going to start like mid-March, and then we're going to jump into the conference tournament because we just don't have that many conference matches to begin with. If you go, to larger conference, like I just came from Mount West, we had 12 teams in there. So if you go there, that's like your 11 conference matches. That's a big chunk of our season. So once we hit that conference there, we never stop with the conference. And here we have to mix in a couple matches, or otherwise the girls are just going to get a little stale, and you don't want them to just do nothing or not play matches. I mean, they always do something. but you don't want them to just not play, not compete.
Sure. And selfishly, really quick, looking at the schedule. So I work in Sioux Falls. Chad works in Sioux Falls too. And then
There we
Mark
go.
does. So we're looking at the schedule. We looked at this recently and we're like, man, we got a lot of opportunities to come out and watch you guys up in Sioux Falls. So for Yote fans that are listening, if you're in Sioux Falls, head to goyotes.com, check out the tennis schedule. They're going to be at Huther quite a bit this spring.
Yeah, that's our prime like winter facility, and we do live in South Dakota, so it's winter a lot in here. So we have a lot of winter. So we're there quite a bit.
Yeah, Coach. I've been to a few tennis matches. I don't know, Jordan and Mark probably not as much, but one of the things that I love about the college tennis environment is it's not stuffy. It's not like when you watch the US Open and the officials like, quiet, please. I mean, you can go out there and yell, go Yotes, and all this other stuff. And so it's at the Huther Center there. You go up on the second level and you can watch all the matches happening at the same time, and you can cheer and you can yell, and it's
as loud as you want to, honestly.
Yeah. So I'm excited for it. I'm going to go there. And then, we've got the little Thunder Alley tennis court over there, the awesome tennis court on campus, and it gets a little windy there, but But I mean that's a rocking place too when all the students come out there and cheer on the Yotes too. So
I heard about the Red Code last year. That was a great event, and I did hear that it gets exciting in the indoor play. So my policy is, be as loud as you want to be to fans until we get the first warning. Once we get that warning, let's relax a little bit. But if we don't get a warning, be as loud as you want to be. I don't care. I'm just out there coaching.
There we go.
Sounds like an opportunity for the eye chart to make an appearance at this match.
Yeah.
Coach, you mentioned recruiting, and I'm not super familiar with every tennis roster across the country, but it seems like there's a lot of overseas players. How do you get in touch with those players? And I assume your recruiting budget doesn't allow you to fly over there and watch them play a ton. So how do you get in contact with those folks?
That's a good question. Mark. I like that one because it gives you some tennis insight right there. So tennis is pretty straightforward. A lot of coaches will say, I kind of look this style of player, or this is kind of where I prefer my players to be this tall, or this, they want to be fast, whatever. For me, it's pretty straightforward. If you win, you're a good player. And, it's not like a position. I don't have to fill in the position like a basketball team or football team or soccer team. If I can recruit 6 best players, that's what I'm kind of going for. So, when I'm recruiting, there's this tool called UTR that's it's called Universal Tennis Rating, very helpful. There's all kinds of rankings you look into. I mean, I am familiar with a bunch of international rankings. Like, I'm somewhat familiar with how Spanish rankings work, of course, how US rankings work, how Russian rankings work, German. So I'm a little familiar with all kinds of different rankings just through experience. And then there's so many international organizations. I'm also familiar with their rankings just because I played those tournaments as a junior. And and then there was quite a bit like the UTR stuff. It's made it super simple because a lot of these larger tournaments, even the foreign ones, you can be playing somewhere in New Zealand and it still gets reported to the Universal Tennis Rating. And then you get assigned like a number, and the higher your number is, the better the player you are. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff looking into it and just getting to know people, that's kind of how it works. I don't want to give you out all the secrets, really.
Coach, I wanted to follow up on that one a little bit. So I had kind of come up with a little bit of a strategy technique, last year when I was watching some tennis, and I was like, how come we don't play our number 1 and number 2 players against the other team's number 3 and 4 players, and then try to get like a win in that doubles match? But someone mentioned to me, you have to rank your players according to their UTR. Is that true? And like, how does that work in practice?
It's true and it's not. It could be. You have to put your team, your best player to worst. That's got to be your lineup. UTR is not always accurate per se. There could be something like somebody came off a couple of bad matches and they're number dropped a little bit, or if somebody's coming off the injury, something like that. There's also something that's called like an accuracy or reliability of your UTR number. And like right now I have a player and her UTR is non-existent, but she's actually a very good player. And just because she was injured and she hasn't competed in like a year. So her UTR kept losing reliability. Although, and right now on paper, she would seem like our weakest player, but she's not. I don't think she's going to be. I mean, so it really kind of depends on a lot of factors. But yeah, you have to basically play your best at number 1 and your worst at number 6. That's the plan, and hoping that the other team does the same. I've actually have encountered in my professional career where I competed against the team and their number 2 player didn't seem to me like they were supposed to be their number 2 player. And I did some research, I did some digging in their previous matches. I reported that result, and actually they had to forfeit us the whole entire match because once you kind of forfeit that 2 position, you have to think that means the 3 should have been a 2, 4 should have been a 3. Everybody kind of should have moved up. So it makes all those matches illegitimate, and we ended up beating them because of that.
So there's honor over strategy there.
Yeah. I mean, you can kind of disregard honor and risk of being reported. People do.
It's only wrong if you
You'd
get
be surprised. Yeah, exactly. Right. If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
We're gonna edit that part out.
Yeah, clip that.
Coach, I had a question, kind of to piggyback off Mark with international student athletes. You see a lot in basketball. It's a little different at like the high school level. Maybe they're playing, for their national teams at a certain level. Is that kind of what you see with tennis? Are they playing since they've been 12, 13 years old at like their own nations, like national teams or national level? Like, how are they competing overseas? Like domestically, we're at high school, those 4 years. How are those like European international student athletes? What are they kind of competing at that level?
That's a good question, because it really depends on what kind of nation you're looking at too, right? I mean, there's so in general, I would say for Division I level tennis, high school is not your best place to be recruited out of, right? So even the best American players don't really compete at high school level. They compete at what's called USTA. And maybe in some states they might play some high school, right? Texas is one of the states where kids still actively play high school because it's a year-round sport. Florida is another state where they play actively. California, and then maybe here and there's going to be some particular players that will play high school, but most of the top players that will actually play USTA. So, and USTA, it's a United States Tennis Association, and each country have their own, TA, whatever, tennis association of whatever country they're from. So they have their own rankings up there. They don't compete in high schools. And then you basically just look, some of them, some of the players will do recruit high level players in their respective countries, especially if it's like a smaller country, right? It's they might be in US, they might have not been as good of a player, but because they grew up in, I don't know, I'm just going to pull a country of a hat, Latvia, let's say, and they might be top 5 player in the country of Latvia, and that grants them to be on the national team. So it really depends on, it's very particular with each country and how recruiting goes. So there's a lot of factors to look into. Yeah, but I definitely do look into their particular countries' rankings. And a lot of Europeans, and they play in Tennis Europe, which is a junior association. And worldwide, people play in what's called ITF, which is International Tennis Federation, especially once they step into 18 and unders. They play in those tournaments, and it's basically everybody in the world is in there. So any country can be there.
And coach, and thank you for that. I didn't know that USTA, is that year round, or is that obviously depending on weather and stuff, but is that year round? Like, are these student athletes at that level able to participate, travel across the country, regionally, things like that?
Oh, you'd be surprised how many recruits I talk to, they don't really even go to school. They study online because they just dedicate themselves, because the junior tennis players at the highest of levels, we're talking about top 100 in the country players, top 150 maybe in the country players. They almost live the professional life, where tennis is their main thing, right? So they kind of disregard the education part almost in a sense. I mean, those online schools are great, and a lot of times they will have schools attached to the academies, which is also very helpful for them. But just to manage their time, because it's an individual sport, you have to, figure out private coaching and all that kind of stuff. A lot of students, they choose to go to school online, and that happens. I mean, so common. I would say almost majority or close to majority of athletes I talk to actually study online. Yeah.
Coach,
hopefully that got you guys answers.
No, yeah,
No, that was great.
That's
All right.
good stuff. So the three of us know almost nothing about international stuff at all. We're all South Dakota kids. We all grew up here. We all have lived here, pretty much our entire lives. So the more we can learn about how things happen other places, the better. But you said a lot of them go to school online. How big of an adjustment is it then when student athletes go to college, go to university, and they have to actually go to classes and take part in those, or do a lot of them just study online as well?
That's it's always a worry for me, honestly. That's a question I personally, as a recruiter, that's a question I always ask. Some coaches don't, but it's always kind of a bit of a worry. It's like, how are they going to do in school? But they do great. I don't know how they do it, but they do great. They come in, they discipline, they just go to class and get good grades. I mean, my team had an awesome GPA this past semester, and I hardly ever in my whole coaching career had players, that struggle in school. And yeah, tennis is kind of, in that sense, an easy sport to coach. They do everything on their own. I don't have to really worry about their academics.
Always nice.
It is nice.
A completely unfair question here, Coach. I know you haven't obviously coached in the Summit League as of yet, or just your brief time here, but Denver seems to be the cream of the crop. Obviously, you haven't scouted them. Maybe you don't know much of anything about.
I know a lot about Denver.
Okay, so what's it going to take for the Yotes to overtake Denver in the Summit League?
Well, they're leaving the Summit League, so that's a relief, a bit of a relief. But at the same time, it's sad to see them go. I mean, they're a powerhouse of the conference. I know Paul really well, the head coach there. It's hard. It's hard how to beat Denver. They have probably the best budget, the best facility, the best, situation as far as recruiting. And they also have like a world famous tennis coach. If you guys don't know much about Paul out there, he wrote one of the biggest tennis books I believe it's called Pressure Tennis. And so I spent a big chunk of time actually reading that book, trying to figure out weaknesses in his tactics that he talks about in the book, and come up with drills and things that we can do at our practice to counteract his style of play. But yeah, there's ways to beat him. I mean, we have to outwork him. That's number one thing. We have to work harder than them, and then coach got to do a better job recruiting, I think, too, in the coming years. So that's going to be, but thankfully they're leaving. Maybe we, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a new power dynamic. What's going to happen? But yeah, there's always ways to beat another team. I'm going to try my best to figure out this spring.
Love to hear it.
Coach, I'll go next year. I think the Code Red last year kind of got into their head a little bit too, with all the student athletes that were there and everything. One of the things that we notice with USD athletics, kind of the culture of the university, is that the teams support other teams. So, the volleyball team is at almost every basketball game. They get to as many football games as they can. It's always great when the football team shows up to the basketball games and the tennis matches and things like that. It looks like a lot of your matches this spring are going to be on Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. You got a couple Wednesdays trickled in there, but how do you plan on, getting your student athletes out there and supporting the other athletic programs on campus, and then hopefully having them come support you as well?
Well, my athletes already do support other athletes on campus. It's just there's not many of them, so you don't notice the difference, right? At the football game, when you have 5 tennis girls out there, it's not that big of a difference. But they do love going to all the football games. They enjoy soccer. They go to all the Code Red events. So is me and my wife. We always, go there. My assistant goes there as well with her boyfriend as well. So, we always try to kind of go to those events. And even outside of it, I see them constantly going to other events, supporting other teams, and just cheering them on. I do know they have quite a lot of friends. Some of them actually live even with other athletes. So I'm hoping that will help us bring some fans. But having a lot of matches in Sioux Falls, we can't really rely on students to be our fans as much as maybe some other teams can. So I'm hoping that we can get a good mix of students and just fans that are not students already anymore, right? And have those people come out as well.
And for those of you that are USD Sioux Falls students or employees, tennis matches are free to attend. So come on out, no charge. Wear your red when you come out there to the Huther Center. And I know one professor that gives extra credit for his student athletes going to those events. So yeah. Yep.
Which I don't know, Mark, who are you pointing to? Who is it?
He's pointing the wrong way. Yeah.
It was really?
I'm just pointing out the window. Hey guys.
Switch my view around. Yeah. It's Chad.
There you go. I see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, tennis is honestly, once you learn the drama of it, it's an intense sport. It's really fun. I had to teach my wife. My wife is a volleyball player, so I had to teach her how tennis scoring works. And once she learned how to work, she's like clocking all the moments. It's like, oh, this girl, she's about to lose it, and it's very entertaining. It's very entertaining.
We're gonna get out there.
There you go.
Coach, so you've had a couple months in Vermilion. Where's your favorite spot to grab a bite to eat?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know even. I would say Cece's is a good one. I mean, Cafe Brulee is a classic, right? If you don't want to eat late at night, if you want to get a lunch or brunch. But to be honest, I was surprised with Vermilion's food scene. There's a lot of good food in Vermilion, a lot of places to grab a good burger, and a lot of places to. What do you have any suggestions that I should try? I mean,
well, you need to go.
I feel like I've been to most of the restaurants.
If you go to 19 Brewery, get the cheeseburger egg rolls.
Okay. So I didn't know 19 Brewery. I know they serve pizza on certain days. So is it like certain days you have to get a cheeseburger egg rolls? Okay.
Yep. Yeah. They're amazing.
Mark, do you make them or something? You just try to get plug yourself in and say, hey.
They sponsor the show, number one. And number two, they're really good.
Okay, gotcha.
We'd be remiss to not suggest the walleye basket at Bunyan's as well.
Okay, Bunyan's is actually a great place. I should have named Bunyan's. Bunyan's actually, I take everything back. I say Bunyan's is probably my favorite restaurant in Vermilion at the moment. So it's a great place.
And Coach Pasha, every Tuesday, I've done this for years. I'm world famous, internationally famous for going to Taco John's for lunch every Tuesday. So,
okay.
If you ever want to join me for lunch on Tuesday, let me know.
Taco John's on Tuesday. Yep. Okay. Do you get one of those meal deals?
I usually get like the $5 meal steal and then an extra crispy taco or something. Yeah. We'll work out the details after the show.
I just went there, but I got not the Taco John's place, but the steak attack.
Oh, steak escape. Yeah.
Steak escape. There you go. I got the fries with Amigos fries or something like that, but I need to try the Taco John's.
Yeah.
I did the wrong half of the restaurant.
Yeah. The employees were all groaning when you ordered steak escape. No, I'm kidding.
They're like, here's this idiot.
Oh, all right. Jordan, did you have one more?
No. Well, you know what, Coach? We have you on. We've talked about this last year. Really quick, for those that are new to tennis, how does the match style work? How do you get a point? Obviously there's doubles and singles, but what does a match look like and how does the scoring work?
Yeah, I'm looking around seeing, do I have a clock anywhere? It's much easier to explain with a clock, actually, because they used to do scoring with a clock back in the day. So first of all, if you want to learn tennis, I'll say in the summer, I'm going to definitely try to, introduce people to tennis in the community of Vermilion. So I'm going to try to do some sort of clinics for adults, for kids, things like that. So if people want to learn tennis, I think this summer, hopefully there will be some opportunities to do that. It's a great sport. It's the world's healthiest sport. Just putting it out there. But scoring is interesting. So the first point you win is actually going to be 15, right? That's where you got the 15 love, 30 love, 40 love, and then that's when you score a game, which is 1 point basically, right? So love is actually in French, I believe means egg. That's to my best knowledge. Nobody really knows. Egg kind of looks like a 0. That's why you kind of, have that love. So 15 is because if you look at the clock, once you score that 1 point, you win 1 point, you go to 15 and you move the minute scale to 15. Then if you win the second point, you move the minute scale to 30. And then back in the day, they actually used to move it to 45. But it became too hard to say 45. People got lazier. It's remarkable. So they start saying 40. And then they, once you hit the 40, you basically flip the whole minute scale all the way around, and it becomes 1 hour. So you get 1. Your hour scale moves 1. So that's how you score each game. So if you win 15, right, you got to 15, there's a second clock, your opponent gets to 15, then they win the point and get to 30, then they go to 45, 1, right? And then it restarts back to 0 both sides. But they already have 1 hour. So it's hard to explain, but hopefully that kind of made it a little bit easier, the clock analogy. If you're just spinning that minute scale every 15 minutes, you're going to eventually get, and if you look at the clock, right, 6 games is 1 set, halfway to winning. So 6 at the bottom of the clock, and then 12 is when you win. So when your hour clock makes the whole circle, that's when you win the match, basically.
Yeah. There's a lot of nuances there too, with like deuce, and you got all that.
Yeah, well, we don't play deuces, thank goodness. And college tennis, just deciding point. I love it too. I think it makes it so much more exciting.
And then for a match, you play the doubles right away, and whoever wins 2 out of the 3 doubles matches gets the team point, correct?
That's right.
For doubles, and then after that, the 6 singles matches are all worth 1 point. So then first team to 4 gets the victory in that one, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you got that perfect. I don't even need to explain. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's really going to bother me.
Chad's been to a couple games.
Chad's been to some. That's really going to bother me that we cut it from the 45 because of one flipping syllable.
Yeah, 45. Well, I honestly have a suspicion is because of the deuce as well. So if everybody has that 40, you kind of like advantage is 45 maybe. But also what I just said could have been a lie. It could have all been made up. I mean, they invented tennis so long ago, and it could have just some guy just made it up and just thought, you know what, this is an explanation. It might not mean nothing. They just wanted to kind of like that.
Well, you got me. I believed it.
There we go. Yeah.
Coach, so we're going to be at several tennis matches this year. We're looking forward to it. When is the opportunity for the 3 of us to take on some of the ladies on the team? That's what we want to know. We want to get embarrassed on film.
Okay. All right. I'm glad you interested in that kind of stuff.
Well, I want to see Jordan and Mark play. Yeah, double. Yeah.
I'm hoping that in the fall I can have some sort of community event. There's quite a lot of work needs to be done towards that, because if I'm going to do a community event, I'm not going to make poor Jordan out there go buy a tennis racket. I want to give him one. So
Coach, I think out of the 3 of us, I probably have the nicest tennis racket.
Guaranteed. Yeah, guaranteed. Yep.
Yeah. And Mark's racket is probably from Goodwill. It's one of those wooden ones, right?
Exactly.
Autographed by Billie Jean.
Yes.
But yeah, so I'm hoping that next fall I can have an event where we can play some tennis with ladies. Maybe I'm not supposed to say, but maybe some pickleball, right? Don't tell people, but maybe some pickleball would be fun too. Just easier to learn pickleball for beginner than tennis. But yeah, I'm interested in doing maybe a mix of both and seeing something like that. But I'm hoping to put a date on the fall 26 schedule where it's like a community event and just outreach the community. Yeah.
Well, that would be awesome, and we would love to attend. I'm sure Jordan's will have flag football playoffs on that day, but Mark and I will be there for sure. So
flag football.
That's an inside joke here.
He's still got that arm.
Kids still got that arm. It's not me. I don't do flag football. It's my kids. He's giving me grief for.
Oh, I see. You just watch flag football, which somehow makes it better.
He coaches them. He's the Super Bowl champion coach.
I see.
You don't coach.
Mark, you want to wrap up here?
Yeah. So just a quick comment there. As Chad mentioned, we all grew up in South Dakota. I grew up in North Central South Dakota. The only time I ever got kicked out of PE is we were playing tennis, and it was so windy. The wind was blowing in my face. I could not get the ball to go over the net. Mm-hmm. So I just swung like it was a baseball bat, and it went flying and back out behind me. But PE instructor didn't appreciate that, and he kicked me out of PE.
I think PE instructor wasn't wrong. The PE instructor wasn't wrong. You were trying. I mean, what else is there to do? Yeah. Well, you guys all grew up in South Dakota. This is my first time being in South Dakota was visiting this campus. So I'm interested to learn more about the state. This summer is going to be my exploring summer. It's too late now. I mean, I'm going to be in the thick of season now, but in the summer, I'm hoping to explore and get out. I lived in quite a lot of places around the country, and I grew up overseas. So, the closest I've gotten to living in South Dakota was Kansas, but I'm excited to learn more.
Yeah, we're way better in Kansas. Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what I keep hearing. You guys we've got right by the river out here. Go some fishing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Hiking.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in South Dakota. We'll have to do a good job of showing you around here. But Coach, it was very nice to meet you tonight, and looking forward to supporting the Yotes tennis team this season and cheering you on. And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
See you soon, Coach.
All right.
There we go. All right. Well,
I think,
awesome.
Hey, really quick, I think it'd be fun if we did like a donation raise, like per point, and any point we score against the tennis team. So we raise money for the tennis team.
I'm not going to score any, Jordan.
$100 a point. We could get
Jordan. They would serve it at me, and I would just fall over. I
would get my butt kicked, but I'm at least Chad. I'm at least confident enough. I think we could get 10 points. We could get $1,000 raised.
There's no way.
I don't even have a backhand. I'm ambidextrous. I'll just switch the racket from right to left.
Oh, that is awesome. Well,
I'm writing it down.
Okay, you write it down, Coach. We'll get Coach to have the team join us and everything. But
I'll get people to pledge an X amount per point that us three will get.
Well, hey, we've had such great guests this year, and obviously, people out there, if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or whatever else, you're free to chime in. But we did get friend Cindy chimed in and gave us an applause.
Nice.
So, yep, we're always happy to
support. For us, but yeah.
Yep, support.
I know it's a day out of it, but Happy New Year, Cindy. Thanks for commenting. See you soon.
We're off the rails here. Off the rails. All right.
Let's get back on track. Let's go.
Jordan, newest sponsor.
Yes. Many thanks to our new sponsor of the Player of the Week segment, Dairy Queen of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids. Pretty sure they're wrapping up the holiday treat menu with the holiday nog shake, frosted sugar cookie blizzard. I did get another one of those last week. And then the new peppermint bark blizzard. So not sure how much longer that's going on, but many, many thanks to Dairy Queen of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids for being our sponsor of the Player of the Week segment.
Yep. I know this time of year, I always hit up Dairy Queen, for around, my wife's birthday is the beginning of February, and then Valentine's Day. So looking forward to that little season there as well. So that's always good. We got this slide still on here.
Oh, I think today's the last day.
All right. Well, if you want to support Aiden, go get some DQ. That's all we're going to say about that.
That's all we're going to say.
Yep.
Many thanks to those that did donate. Today's the last day. Looks like he's going to win the competition aspect of it, but
$1 million.
Yep, 1 million.
News and notes, Mark.
This shouldn't take very long. Obviously, before the transfer portal for football opened up officially, a lot of Yo fans get in the dumps because it's the take-it season. Kids are announcing that they're going to enter the portal. Portal's now open. I believe it's open till the 16th of January, so we're going to start seeing that turnaround, and it's going to start giving as well. So hang in there. This is going to be a little vague, but if you're a Yo fan and you're a fan of this show, you need to make plans right now to come out to Vermilion on January 24th. There is a men's basketball game that day. There's also a swim and dive competition, which we are going to attend both those. So get to Vermilion that day. It'll be worth your while. And we'll mention here in a little bit, men's basketball, they're down to the Magnificent Seven. There's 7 available players. Sounds like reinforcements are on the way. No official word on that yet, but just crazy how that injury bug is just decimated the men's basketball team this year so far. So tough sledding.
And they won't accept us to play. We found that out. We have no eligibility left.
We might. We could petition the NCAA, and they'd probably.
Oh, I emailed. I'm out. I'm done. If you guys want to give it a shot,
you need to do it.
I was gonna say January 4th or 24th. Excuse me, not January 4th. That's today. January 24th. The tennis team is also hosting this University of Sioux Falls Cougars in Sioux Falls at the Huther Tennis Center. So opportunity maybe to do that, then hit the road, come back down to Vermilion. I don't know how the timing all works out there. But yeah, make sure you're in Vermilion on the 24th, the SCSC specifically. But yeah, get to the other stuff as well.
Yep.
Could this be the game where we finally have us 3 do the layup free throw half court?
Jaron Duffy, if you're watching,
if you're listening, we're going on year 2? ? I don't know.
Something's happening.
I was going to add one bit of news and notes. Tevin Carncross did a great job today on ESPN Plus calling that game. It was what were the 2 teams, Mark?
LMU and San Francisco.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it was an overtime matchup there. So Tevin ended up doing the play-by-play on that one on ESPN Plus and did a great job. So if you've ever watched USD athletics over the past, 3 or 4 years on the Summit League Network, you probably have heard Tavin's voice on there. But he's a great guy, and glad he's getting some opportunities to do some big time stuff. So
yeah, for sure. That was a fun lesson.
Yep. All right. Well, let's talk about women's basketball. On Tuesday, the women's basketball team hosted the College of St. Mary's, and this one went as expected. Started out 2013 lead in the end of the first quarter, and then blew it open in the second quarter, 33-9 there. Third quarter, 25-3. Golly, seems like there was a lot of
defending and rebounding are a must.
A lot of defending and rebounding for the Yotes in this one. In
was.
front of over 1,000 fans on a Tuesday afternoon, 95-42 victory over the College of St. Mary's. You can see the quarter comparisons here, but Yotes just shot the lights out in that second quarter. If you look at some of those statistics on the screen, and then guys, look at that field goal percentage in the third quarter for the College of St. Mary's. I mean, that's defending right there. 7%. So great job by the Yotes in this one. As far as individual statistics go, you can look here. Just a very balanced effort for the Yotes. Great to see Olivia Moore leading the team with 15 points. And then Elise and Alex Flattery had 11 apiece. And then Tori Schlegel had double digits as well. But Grace Peterson had 9 in this one. Patience Williams had 8. A couple other Yotes had 5, 6, 6, 5. So very balanced scoring in this one. And if you look down at the bottom, 63 total rebounds for the
Jeepers
Yotes.
creep. 63.
63 total rebounds. Yep.
Oh,
And then 27 assists.
I was going to mention, you mentioned Olivia Moore played really, really well. She really, obviously the opponent was what it was, but Olivia Moore played really, really well and earned her some minutes here in the next game we'll talk about with the women. And the other thing, Olivia Kiefer, 14 minutes, 11 rebounds. Like, that's getting after
it. Ratio.
This is that type. I know it's NAI, but this is the type of tune-up game though that gives folks some confidence going into conference play too. And before we move on, really quick, this is off the tidbits section of the recap. Get a little of this. Yotes 41-0 when allowing less than 50 points at home in the SCSC. 41-0.
Is that good?
I think that's part of defense.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Defending and rebounding are a must.
Yep. We're going to play that.
God, I'm going to have. I need to have the stat, and I will have it because I said I'm going to have it last week. The amount of games so far that we've had more rebounds than allowed points. Or someone can do it. I don't care. I will have it ready for next week.
That should be pretty easy to come up with, Jordan. Yeah.
It's like half over.
Yeah.
Great
so
game.
that was a big win for the Yotes. And then on Saturday, went to Kansas City. Kansas City, here they came. And in front of 351 fans in the darkest arena in the Summit League.
In the nation.
Maybe in the nation.
Maybe the lowest camera
67-47. Great job. We are nerds.
We are not getting any ready.
Like that.
That's all right. So this one, I mean, Yotes got out to a 20-13 lead at the end of the first quarter and really never looked back. If this was the old Continental Basketball Association, the Yotes get all 7 quarter points in this one. Won every single quarter, and the 3 points for winning the game. So fantastic job by the Yotes in this one on Saturday. This win improves the Yotes to 11-4 on the season, and more importantly, 1-0 in the Summit League, including 1-0 on the road in the Summit League. Now, Jordan, I think you brought up a stat during the game. How many road victories did the Yotes have last year in the Summit League?
1.
And so we've already matched that total. So no place to go up.
Have matched the win total of last season. Mark mentioned that.
Yeah. So great job.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the road game to Kansas City last year was a drubbing. We got
it. Wasn't fun. No.
Wasn't good. Wasn't fun. So great win. Great road win. Hopefully they got some good barbecue down there.
Yeah. Knowing Coach Amy and Devin, I'm sure that they stopped and got some fantastic barbecue on the way.
They didn't get Runza.
Definitely not.
Why? That doesn't even exist in Kansas City, I'm pretty sure. But
nor should it.
We've talked with Devin on the show, Devin Amy, about Kansas City barbecue and Kansas City food before. So he knows his way around down there.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and pull up the quarter statistics here. You can see Yotes shot really well overall, 40% from 3-point land on the game. Free throw shooting 9 for 9 in this one, and then 40% on field goals. Compare that to the opponents shooting in the low 30s the whole game in both 3-pointers and regular field goals. Just a recipe for winning, as well as looking at some of the individual statistics. 21 points from Molly Joyce in this one.
Yeah. She's
fantastic.
The color commentator for Kansas City, I don't know if you guys listen to the actual feed or if you're listening to Jerry P, but he mentioned he's a former coach, and so he scouted the Yotes a little bit, like he was coaching. He mentioned Angie and Molly Joyce might be the best 1-2 combo guard-wise in the Summit League, and I haven't seen every team in the Summit yet, but I don't argue with that statement at all at this point.
Yeah. I mean, guard combo for sure. One of, if not the. And Kansas City so far this year have been shooting. Chad, they shot 32%. Kansas City, they're like a mid-40s field goals. So defense, again,
Defending and rebounding are a must.
and this is the 9th. So we have 11 wins. 9 times we have beaten our opponent by 20 or more points so far.
How many times did Ferris Bueller miss school?
9
times. All right. Sorry. That was a lame old movie reference.
Boo.
Oh, that's okay. No one's going to boo me. But speaking of 9, look at Alex Flattery's rebound total in this game, huh? 9 rebounds for her. 38 total rebounds for the Yotes in this one, 14 assists, only 7 turnovers, taking care of that basketball, dishing it out, scoring appropriately, and very balanced scoring in this one. Great job by the Yotes. Any final comments?
It was good to get that.
Conference season.
Kansas City is always weird, I feel like.
Yeah.
So good to get that win there, and off we go.
Well, the men went up to Fargo on New Year's Eve, played a 4 p.m. tip-off, and this one, the Yotes started out really well. It was actually tied 30-30 at one point, and then I think NDSU went on a 20-something to 3 or 2 run.
A lot to a little, yeah.
Yeah, pulled
10-0
away.
run after the 10-0 to final 2.5 minutes of the first half.
Oh no, keep going.
And then first 5 minutes of the I'm reading it. First 5 minutes of the second half, 16-2 run. So that's a 26-2 run.
Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
Yep. It sounds worse when you actually say the numbers. Thanks a lot for bringing that up, Jordan.
I could separate it by chunks.
But that was the difference in this game. I mean, look, you can't give up a 26-2 run. And part of it was the Yotes were just tired. But yeah, this 84-61 loss drops the Yotes to 8-8 on the season and 0-1 in the Summit League. This was one where I felt like early on the Yotes had a shot, came out with some good energy, but that middle stretch there, the last 2 minutes of the first half and then the first 5 or 6 minutes of the second half just did the Yotes in. You look at some of the shooting here. Overall, shooting 40%, 36% from 3, but you give up 55% field goals to NDSU. That's not good. So that's not going to win a whole lot of games.
Yeah, you're shorthanded. You're going up against one of the top 2 teams in the Summit League. No doubt about it. NDSU is going to be competing for the 1 seed.
We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. A lot of, but you
Jordan's too early prediction right there. Yeah. But that's okay.
But you watch this game and you guys are right. Like they were there. They competed hard. This is the first game being shorthanded, and then you could tell gas was running on empty. I mean, poor Cam was basically walking up and down the court, and NDSU's got some very athletic bigs. It just wasn't a recipe for success the last 18 minutes or so. Well, I guess you could say 25 minutes if we're going to include that first half. But they gave it as best a good a shot as they could with what they had.
Yeah, and you could see the 7 players who played all logged some pretty hefty minute totals here. So Ice Brunn, shout out, 38 minutes, led the team with 17 points, including getting over 1,000 for his career. So fantastic job, Ice. Uzziah, 15. Cam Fens had 10. But, overall, the Yotes just need a little bit more depth, and I know that's something that is going to be hard to come by. You can also see the assist to turnover ratio in this one. Mark highlighted was not great. 9 assists to 15 turnovers.
That's what I was going to mention here is I think, that first 17 minutes of the game where we were with them, actually had a couple point lead there a couple times. We were sharing the ball pretty well. I don't know what percentage of the 9 came in the first half. I'm going to guess the vast majority of them. The ball got sticky on us in the second half, and that might be fatigue and a number of things. But we just didn't share the ball as well in the second half. And like you say, 26-2 or whatever it was, that'll doom you.
Yep. So tough one for the Yotes. They were off on Saturday, so over the weekend. So 0-1 right now in the conference season. Swim and dive was at St. Thomas and did great. Both the men and the women won. You can see the team scores here. The women won 157 to 143. None of us know how the scoring actually works, but we won. We have more points than they did. And then as far as the men go, Yotes come up on top, 155 to 135 in this one.
Is that a blowout? We don't know.
Yeah, you can see lots of the individual results out there on the website.
Yeah.
Jordan, player of the week.
Yeah, many thanks to Dairy Queen. So the Howling Podcast Player of the Week, presented by Dairy Queen of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids, goes to the sharpshooter of Molly Joyce. 21 points, 4 of 6 from downtown, 3 of 3 at the free throw line, and a steal in the Yotes' big win down in Kansas City. So congrats to Molly on earning the Howling Podcast Player of the Week, presented by Dairy Queen.
All right.
Fun to watch.
Yeah, that was great.
Yes.
So what's coming up this week, Mark?
This week, it's a basketball week. Men will be at St. Thomas at 8 p.m. on Summit League Network, and then home on Saturday at 1 p.m. Come to the SCSC and watch that. Women's basketball will be at Oral Roberts at 7 p.m. Another one of those road games. That's always
That's here.
Oh, yep. Sorry. Yep. My that's Thursday, 7 p.m. I'll be there. And then travel to St. Thomas at 4 p.m. on Saturday. That'll be on the Summit League Network as well. So
look at that being staggered times on Saturday for men and women. They're not all at like 1 o'clock. Love that.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than sitting at a game and you're checking your phone and you can't pay attention to either game. So,
well, we've been there too at the end, like towards the end of the season too, where like you're going, oh, who's winning? So for seeding, and all 12 games are at 1 o'clock.
Yep. The worst.
So yeah, couple opportunities to get out to the SCSC this week. The semester doesn't start yet, so the students aren't quite back on campus yet, but some great opportunities to get out there and support the Yotes and kind of see what's going on. So what are you guys looking forward to? Just home games in general, or?
Oh, always love home games. Yeah. I'll have the girls. So the girls will be there on Thursday. So
good.
Yeah. I mean, women's basketball, Oral Roberts, I'm looking forward to specifically that one this week. They're one of the top teams in the league again this year. So how we handle them at home, and the men, St. Thomas again, that's a top. We kind of got the top two out of the way, which it was nice later on, but see if we can get maybe steal one.
Jordan, no one's the top yet. We're the top team in the conference. We're in women's basketball. We are 1-0. No one has a better winning percentage than we do right now.
I think I said it last year. Oh no, you said it to me last year. Oh, Chad, don't give me that technically crap.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, and now.
And that's just what they wanted to do there. And all things considered, again, you see the iChart cardboard cutout. How appropriate.
Through the review, the iChart made its way to the video board. It really injected some energy.
Our own Mark Wendt is famous for holding up his eye chart at men's and women's basketball games when officials make questionable calls. We give our eye chart of the week moments to either officials that made questionable calls or just questionable calls in life. And so this past week, we had Notre Dame and Notre Dame fans getting the eye chart of the week.
Bogus.
Followed by, it was legit, followed by rent-free overuse. And so
rent-free.
So Mark, you win. So it's your turn. Give us your eye chart of the week.
So I don't know if you guys saw this. There was a news story out east somewhere where a gentleman was bit by a tick, and it apparently made him allergic to meat. He ate a hamburger, and unfortunately, he passed away. But my eye chart of the week is going to go to this dang tick. Like, do not bite me. Stay far, far away from me, because I don't know if some vegan in a lab created this tick. I don't know where it came from, but it needs to go back to wherever that was. Do not bite me. I will buy the biggest ribeye steak you ever saw and go out in a blaze of glory. No, thank you. Go away, Tick. You get my eye chair of the week.
I'm going to have a follow-up question off air about how they knew it made the guy allergic to meat.
I won't be able to answer, but.
Oh, it's me. Okay, my eye chart of the week goes to ties in the NFL during the regular season. NFL ties. Selfishly, as a Vikings fan, we would have made the playoffs today if Green Bay would have lost, could have lost, probably would have lost. Sorry, Packer fans, to the Cowboys earlier this season. And thus, the Vikings beating the Packers would have put us in the playoffs. I hate ties. I get why they do it, I think. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about them, but I know that it robbed the Vikings of being in the playoffs. So, NFL ties. Get my eye chart of the week.
My eye chart of the week goes to Jordan Decker. Jordan Decker constantly all season long told us about his fantasy football team, even though nobody ever wanted to hear about it. Guess what, Jordan? I informed you earlier tonight. I won my fantasy football league this year. Do you know what he did? He didn't care about it. That's how we should all feel when other people talk about their fantasy teams. Jordan, you need to look in the mirror and realize no one cares about your fantasy football team. Stop talking about it. I don't want to hear one bit about it ever again. Jordan Decker, eye chart of the week.
I won my fantasy football.
No one cares.
I got second in another league.
There is a fan submission. The other Jordan, the prettier Jordan, nominated the Big Ten officials for the Nebraska-Michigan State game. So that's the fan submission there.
Yeah, I
didn't watch it, so I don't know.
I saw the call. Whatever. Those officials are spectacular. They're the top people in the country. So I'm assuming they know the rules and made the right call.
So you're not voting for that one?
No, I'm not going to vote for that one. Plus, anything Nebraska, I'm not going to vote for anyways. So.
I got a feeling I'm going to win because everyone hates ties in professional sports. So, Dad, you can beg all you want to put me on it. Fingers crossed I've got it this week.
Well, whatever. If you have your eye chart of the moments and you want to share those with us, go ahead and hit us up in the DM, tweet at us, whatever else you need. If we have ridiculous takes, let us know about it. If other people out there have ridiculous things that are happening, like maybe thinking that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, something like that, just let us know, tweet at us. We'll go ahead and share that information next
and also
week.
Really quick to plug it in too, Chad, if you see like a clip like the Notre Dame game where the officials kind of messed it up at the end there, if you see that, tag us and do the hashtag iChart. So if you see something, instead of sending it to us, you can just tag us and do the iChart there too, and we'll make a tally of it, because I kind of forgot about the end of the Notre Dame men's basketball game.
Yeah, our friend Michael Sharp from down there in the belly button of America hitting us up in the comments.
What do we got?
Few eye charts. Well, I'm not going to share any of them right now, but one of them was about a friend of mine, so I'm not going to say anything there. But anyways, if you guys have them, go ahead and share those with us as well. Even if you're down in the belly button, right in the middle, don't really do anything but collect lint. You can go ahead and share those moments with us. All right, Mark, next up.
988. We mention it every week. And I'll mention it again. Someone asked me a couple weeks ago how we got them to sponsor us. They are not a sponsor. We just feel like this is an important thing to mention every week. And so we mention it. 988 Suicide and Crisis Hotline. Call them, text them, chat with them. They're available 24/7. Like I've said every week, it's a great first step. Someone's going to listen to you. Someone's going to get you the help you need. And stick around. You matter.
Special thanks to our title sponsor, 19 Brewing Company, Main Street, Vermilion. Make sure to head in there, try some of those cheeseburger egg rolls, get some tasty beverage off of one of the taps that they have there. All kinds of good stuff going on. Make sure to go in and tell them the Howling Podcast sent you. And Jordan?
Many thanks to Dairy Queen of Vermilion, Hartford, and Del Rapids for sponsoring our Player of the Week segment each and every week.
As always, the Howling Podcast is produced by the Wakanda Peach Company, LLC of Burbank, South Dakota. I'm sure we messed up on a lot of stuff, but thanks so much to Coach Pasha for joining us today. Awesome. We're looking forward to tennis. We're looking forward to basketball this week. 24th is going to be amazing. Until next time,
go Yotes.
Go Yotes.
Yotes.
Good night, Vermillion.
Let's go! 3 idiots on a podcast. Like,
I don't know what I'm doing.
Runza sucks.
We don't know if any of that's true, but Jordan, don't give me this technically crap. Come on.
Got personal this week.
Lots of stuff happened.
Chad Berger, Brian Dawson, USD.
Yeah, you're wrong.
You guys do it in a really professional manner, and it's awesome.